Hey folks, this is Peter Boykin running for Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. I've made it to my first stop here in the Wake, Raleigh, Johnson County area. I'm at the LYNN Lake Community Center. Man, when I drove in, lots of signs everywhere. Signs everywhere but signs. And so I've got about 130 signs, and I'm putting them all here. No, I'm just kidding. I have about 130 signs. And I think I'm going to use about 3 of them at this location near the front entrance. I know there's gobs of signs coming in, but I usually try to keep them near the front as far as I can go. So there's several people still putting signs out here as well. We're going to put some signs up when people walk in and see what goes. Let's see where the cutoff is. Let's see, I'll try one here.
Okay, Mr. Bear, you got my vote. Yeah, when I heard that one, oh my gosh, he is a part of the lead establishment.
Well,
I cannot handle
if
that.
I'm being very honest with you.
Where's the cutoff?
Yeah.
Trying to find the cutoff here. There it is. I was trying to find it. I was like, where is it? the advantage of coming last to put signs. All right. Alan Swain, Brown Jones, Jack. I know half these people's names. Oh, look at that pretty dog.
Ah, thank you.
Oh,
He's friendly.
hey. Friendly with that grass.
He's busy scratching his
Oh,
nose. Yeah.
Elmore Row, Superintendent. I need some information about. I definitely need a comparison sheet on who to vote for and who not to. Dale Falwell. Keeps him busy.
Okay, yeah,
Thank
she's challenging the incumbent, which is Pruitt. I'm sure it's not for you, but I can tell you about what she's doing.
I've met her.
Oh, I love Michelle. I've been traveling all over the state with
She's
her.
fantastic.
She is. She's smart as a whip.
Yeah.
Oh my
So I met her
gosh.
last week, but my husband has
She's
been,
so smart.
my husband has had lots of conversations with her
Yeah.
about women and the special needs kids in the classroom.
Absolutely.
She's fantastic.
She's brilliant, and everywhere she goes, she gets standing ovations. People say, "I'm changing my vote. I'm
She's
voting for
fantastic.
Michelle."
She really is.
If we can get her in, I think we can turn the clock back on the schools. We can rein it back in and get our kids educated
So I'm glad to
properly.
hear that you're supporting her, 'cause she got my vote. She's fantastic.
Praise God, because I've gotten to know her over the last 3 years. We just have traveled in the same circle. We speak at school board meetings. We pound them about how they're failing our kids. The schools are failing. So
She's incredible.
she is.
I
Thank
do
you.
hope she gets it.
You got my vote.
Corey Bear Haynes for agriculture.
Yeah, Commissioner of Agriculture,
Oh, okay. Who's you running against?
Steve Troxler.
Oh yeah, we need somebody different. Anybody else running?
Nope, just the two of them.
Oh, okay.
Just the two of them.
Troxler's been in there for a long time.
He has. He
Time
has.
to switch up. You know, everybody talks about term limits until, you know, they don't
Till
talk
they get in
about term
office and
limits.
they get comfortable.
I'm running for lieutenant governor.
Oh, well,
I done told people, look, I intend, if I get in, I want to run again for another term for lieutenant governor before I would go for governor. If people don't push me, you know.
yeah.
But I would rather just stay in 2 terms and then go towards governor or something
Agreed,
else.
but I do think that 20 years is a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
It's
Got a lot of Congress people, a lot of senators, a lot, you know, they just won't move out of the way.
It's unfortunate.
It's like, you know, everybody talks about term limits, but then they don't want to go by term
No,
limits.
until they're in office and then they get comfortable.
Yeah,
Well, it's nice to meet you.
thank you. Are you running for anything?
I feel like I am. I am friends with Michelle Morrow.
Yeah, I got the thing because you know I was trying to figure out the difference between the two, and then a lot of people, you know, are pushing her, and I just wanted to make sure, you know, beforehand.
Yeah, I can tell you what you need.
But I figured if the current person's not doing, I know that they have some of their hands tied, because even Robinson had said some of their hands are tied.
Has not actually been totally truthful.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
And you know, talking about their hands are tied, superintendent can't do anything, and I'm like, well, why are they the superintendent?
Exactly. That's what Michelle says. Why do you even want the job? You can't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm running for lieutenant governor. I can't do too much,
Okay.
but I could still be a loud ass. You know,
I don't think Mark's done a whole lot of as lieutenant governor.
I don't care too much for him myself.
I
like Dale.
I'm a Dale supporter.
I'm going to be in at tonight at the Sophie's bar.
I wish I could go. I'm burning out.
Yeah.
I've been here.
It keeps you busy.
Yeah, and
Is this one of the biggest ones? Because this was the first one on my list.
I don't know.
And I saw so many signs, and I'm like, I've got 130 signs left. I was able to get Guilford County and Alamance that I'm in, and now finally I recovered from doing that weekend. It's just me. I'm super grassroots.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to do Wake all today.
I know.
And
God bless you.
I'm going to Wake and Johnson, 17 locations, try to get to that thing tonight. And then I'm going to still have to try to figure out, I'll have enough signs to do Mecklenburg.
Yeah.
And those are the counties I'll have.
It's hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard. We don't have enough people, and we're grassroots too.
Oh yeah.
I met her.
Well, a lot of people online. I think I think somebody's posted. I got a couple of groups on Facebook, and I allow people to post their posts on Facebook.
I appreciate that.
The only person I hadn't allowed to put a post on Facebook is on my groups is people who are running against me, of course. But other than that, anybody else is welcome to put their post.
I wish you the best, because we got to change the direction of the state and this country. I am so disenchanted. I'm even disenchanted with my party, to be honest with you.
Well, there's a lot of people.
I'm
well, the unaffiliated, as according to the numbers of yesterday, it's been pretty equal between Republicans and Democrats. Yesterday they got about a couple more thousand votes from Democrats, but the unaffiliated is sitting there right under with 20,000 votes. And people need to understand that we are a purple state. We are a moderate state. Well, I don't know. I won't give them that. We are purple.
Well,
because unaffiliated voters are usually Republicans who only are still Republicans, but they don't want to be considered a technically rhino, because then they're in the moderate zone.
I've started to change my party affiliation.
Problem is, you want to run for something or anything like that, you just can't win nothing.
And I'm a vice chair in my precinct, and it's like, well.
But then people want to run around calling people rhinos and stuff. No, there's plenty of people who are unaffiliated who are Republicans, but they believe in the original Republican Party, the Republican Party that cares about small government.
Party of Abraham
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Party of Lincoln. party is small government,
Exactly.
government out of your business,
Yeah.
government lower regulations, the party that helped women get their right to vote, the party that helped
Exactly.
blacks get freed and get their right to vote,
Absolutely.
the party that
Abolition
brought
slavery.
immigrants in who actually got them a path to citizenship and helped them vote.
You got it.
Everything you learn by going down and looking at the Constitution.
Michelle Marr, conservative candidate for superintendent of public instruction. We got to make our schools a better place for learning. Do you like Tom Tillis, by the way?
I do like Tom Tillis.
Do you?
Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, Rhino," but look, I go and
I
see.
have not liked him.
The problem is that people run into this that they never do the position. So they see it from the outside. And when I go and look at the things that he's doing, I see him doing his job. And I do see him upholding a lot of Republican principles.
Yeah, I'm trying to think specifically.
Well, there's
about
always
2
going to
years
be
ago,
something you
there was
disagree with.
something that he really.
There's something.
Well,
There's always something. Every single
that's
candidate
right.
out there.
Nobody's perfect. There's no perfect candidate.
I have no problem with Tom Tillis, and I think it's a disaster to censor a sitting senator.
They didn't censor him.
Yeah, they censored it
I missed
at the Republican convention.
Okay.
But the thing about the Republican convention, there's 10,000 people who could be potential that could go to the convention.
Yeah.
Out of that,
And I
you
have
get
been to one
1,500 maybe that show up.
Yeah.
Out of that, half of them decide to censure. So 700 people out of all the Republicans, about 1 million or so Republicans, get to tell us that we censor Tom Tillis, our sitting senator.
Yeah. Well,
I don't like that.
yeah, I agree. Oh, what a cutie.
But I also don't like how people call people rhinos and stuff all day. Because I've told people, I'm a rhino, you're a rhino, we're all rhinos by now.
Hey, baby.
Michelle Morris.
Hey, baby doll.
Superintendent of public instruction. She thinks we can do better educating our children, and we're failing our kids right now in schools. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, everybody wants to call everybody else a rhino to the point we're all going to be called rhinos. Because I don't agree with you and you don't agree with me.
I'm so far right, so conservative that I'm almost next week. Yeah, you too. It's nice chatting. I enjoyed our chat. I'm not right of Jesse Helms. If you wouldn't remember him, you're too young.
Really?
He was.
I might have to run against his daughter.
He is.
I think that's his daughter.
Oh, really?
No, Hunt. No, I'm thinking Hunt. I'm thinking Hunt. Yeah, Hunt. Hunt Helms.
No.
I think I could beat her easily.
Yeah, you probably could. No, Jesse Helms, I used to hate him when I was young, but as I've gotten older, had a family, a job, and got sick of paying exorbitant taxes, I'm thinking more like Senator Jesse Helms, who is extremely conservative.
Yeah, I think everybody loved him.
A lot of people hate him.
Really? See, everybody hates,
A lot of people
I
hate
have no
him.
problem with Tom Tillis. I
Democrats
understand
hated
people
him.
might not like Tom Tillis. I just think,
I don't
hey,
care.
look, you got your next election to worry about. If you want to get rid of him, you hire somebody else. But I mean, but I would rather keep a Republican in there. And people,
sure,
and people don't understand that. People don't really understand is that when you go to Senate or you go to Congress, the U.S. Congress, you're supposed to represent everybody, not just the Republicans.
You're supposed to represent.
So you're
people in
representing your state.
district.
So there's going to be things that you sign that you might not agree, and then sometimes you have to sign this in order to get that, and we don't know what's going on.
You're gray. Those bills, getting those bills.
It's very
passed
gray. It's a gray area.
Michelle Marr is a conservative candidate for superintendent of public instruction. She's brilliant. This one's brilliant. But anyway.
But yeah, I mean, it's
I went to a meeting where Kathy Truitt was speaking, and I wanted to ask her a question.
I haven't heard her anything.
They would not let me ask her a
See, I have
question.
a problem if people don't want to be asked questions.
No, they wouldn't let me ask her a question.
It's like there's so many people that won't even go to debates.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No kidding. And that's
like I missed a couple of debates and stuff, not because I didn't want to debate. I really wanted to debate,
but
I couldn't get there.
Yeah,
I drive an old ass car. I can only go so far right now.
Well, my question was, what was she going to do about the sexually explicit books in our public schools?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me ask. They said it's too controversial. I don't think.
Hello. My folks. Facebook all of a sudden just starts talking back to me.
Michelle Marr, conservative candidate for superintendent of public instruction. She thinks we can do better in educating our students. North Carolina ranks pretty low for proficiency. Our schools are failing our kids, and too much indoctrination, not enough education. What really counts. I've been talking too much today. The cold weather. Yeah, here's since 8 o'clock.
Oh my.
Rain. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to. People have to sit down and get stuff done at the end of the day. And so I tell people, look, I'm a constitutionalist for liberty.
Absolutely.
I believe in moderate
that.
and conservative
Thank you for
principles.
coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Huh?
But I tell people
Yeah.
I believe in moderate and conservative principles.
I sat here yesterday.
Yeah, I try. You know, if you go by the Constitution is written
read
by
that
multiple
front to back
people.
Yesterday morning.
I mean, people got to understand
Yeah.
the Constitution was written by people who fought differently across the
Exactly.
spectrum, but
Yeah.
they all sat down and was able to
Could
figure out
come together
and
agree
come
on.
together on a Constitution that's still great today.
Exactly. It's
And
still
I'm going to go see the
working.
Constitution on Friday because I'm going to CPAC. and I'm going back down there again. I heard about that, and I hope
Said
it's
did
open.
Not damage the
Okay.
Constitution.
I'll tell you the truth
those people.
I tell you the truth. To me, I would hang them in the yard.
They should.
As far as I'm concerned, you try to do damage to the Constitution.
Just keep
it's the death penalty for me.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned,
get off.
I don't care. Yeah, they'll probably get off. They'll get off.
They won't
No,
be
it should be the death
punished,
penalty.
but you
This
can
is not
still
the Mona
keep
Lisa. You're not throwing crap in the Mona Lisa.
You can still. January.
I'm trying to figure out how they got in there with the stuff. Because when you go through like a metal detectors and all sorts of stuff, and in order to get there, and they don't normally let you carry too much there. So I'm wondering what the lockdown's going to be if I go up there, if it's going to be open or if they still got to clean it or what. I'm going to be upset if I don't get to see the Constitution
I've
again.
seen it. It's been a long time. When I was much younger.
Hell, if I was in Congress, I'd pass a bill that would make it mandatory for every Congressperson to see it at least once per quarter.
Yeah, and read it.
They have to go to it.
Read
it, or at least go and visit and
take
see
a quiz on
it.
Yeah. Civics 101. Yeah.
Well, another thing I think they need to do in government, they need a constitutional test on things. It needs to have a constitutional committee. Every bill should go through a constitutional committee. Figure out if this is constitutional or not constitutional. We're always trying to push stuff to the Supreme Court to figure out.
They're not lawmakers.
And I tell this is controversial, but a lot of people, we're talking about
I like that idea.
I mean, we're talking about the books and everything, but we also talked about the drag queen and drag ban. And I'm like, okay, y'all are wasting your time on a drag ban because it is unconstitutional to ban drag shows like the way they wanted to.
Children around there.
Now, children, that's different, but they wanted to ban them completely and everything. And I'm like, the thing is, they're still trying to push for it here. And I'm like, you've already tried it in Texas. You've already tried it in Tennessee. And it's always come out unconstitutional. Why are we wasting our time on something that we know is unconstitutional?
Yeah.
When we need to worry about, I worry about infrastructure, education, and jobs. And it's simple. But we worry about too much of the so-called woke stuff that really doesn't matter that much. It gets people wound up, but it's not that important.
Yeah.
Now, the book issue, I'm not for burning. I'm not for burning the books.
Just don't have them.
But I think that the schools, the public schools or whatever, they need to. If anything that is more mature needs to be at a mature level, and they definitely shouldn't be integrated in any kind of schools that have the lower class, lower schools.
Unless you're an adult, and I don't know of many adults in even high school.
I've seen some of the books material, and it's like. The thing is, though, I always try to tell people, I said, the problem is that I see people going after only certain books, but not other books. And if it's anything sexually explicit, they'll go towards one, but not the other. And I'm like, it should be everything.
The book, and I work with
I've seen some ones like, oh my God.
I've worked with a team that's identified more than 85 titles of sexually explicit books in Wake County schools. When I say sexually explicit, 0 to 5, 4 and 5, rated 4 and 5. Sexual content that is not appropriate for.
So that's what I got on some of the groups that
not
were.
For mine. It's soft.
Yeah, some of the moms for liberty, and I was like, I said, I agree on these books. I agree on these books. I agree on these books. But I would say, but the problem is, we usually go towards the LGBT thing. But I said the problem I have is you are ignoring other books that have straight stuff in it too.
Oh,
and I'm like, you need to go through everything. That's why I told them. I said, if you're going to do it, you go through everything.
I didn't think they were because I know some. I'm not in Moms for Liberty, but I didn't think they were ignoring the straight either.
Some of them push, and then every time I look at it, I push them on that issue. Going, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. But why?
I may be wrong, but I didn't think they were.
Why are we not trying to go after all the books?
I didn't think.
See, that was the problem I ran into, and I'm like, see, that's where you lose.
Yeah,
because then you piss off the people about the LGBT, and they feel like you're discriminating. But I come late, like, oh my God, some of the stuff in these books.
Stuff in there make you vomit just to read it, and
Yeah, and then they don't want you reading it. I've been to school board
Yeah, if you
meetings
can't read
reading
it at a
this book,
school
you can't
board
read
meeting, you
it.
should be able to in their
Yeah,
library.
Yeah, exactly. Michelle Morris, conservative candidate, superintendent of public instruction. She thinks we can do better educating our children, not indoctrination. Yeah, these Marx-based programs, emotional learning, DEI.
Well, the thing is,
Even CRT.
some of the stuff problem is you can't completely cut people out from learning history and
No,
understanding
you need to teach it
diversity,
all.
but
Teach it
you
all.
have to
Yeah.
teach it properly.
Exactly.
And
the
you also need to
facts.
teach it at a level where people can understand it. It's like, when they talk about slavery and things like that, they try to do it at such a young level when they don't understand it, and then it starts becoming like, you enslaved my family, and it's like, no, that was but we have to learn from the past.
Absolutely.
See, the problem I had with Mark is he was like, we should just eliminate science and we shouldn't have science and history until later. I'm like, dude, we gotta know science and history, and we have to address issues
that's age appropriate.
Yeah, and then you work your way up.
Exactly, and get more complex.
Problem is, I ran into schools, and now I think I understand why. Is every time we get up to almost modern history, we'd start back over, and I'm like, why can't we start talking about modern history? But I don't know why, because modern history is so controversial that nobody wanted to teach it in schools. It's like, but they needed to teach it more.
History is fascinating.
Yeah, ancient history is great.
Much more fascinating.
I loved history class. I was really good at history and science.
Yeah.
Not so good at English and math. So it's kind of opposite, because usually people are good at English and math or something like that. They're good at science and math, or English and history. But I was good at history and science.
Yeah.
It was like, so I was kind of mixed.
Yeah, mine was
English classes. I still wrote
history. I
wrote a bunch of squigglies
because I couldn't remember numbers. I thought it was fascinating, but I love the sciences. That's
so a lot of just memorization and stuff like
exactly.
that.
And I'm not good at memorizing.
Yeah, you'd have to remember it. But the problem is, you just remember it for the test, and then you forget it the next day because you move on to the next subject. That's another problem with school. It's just all about. I'm in Alamance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah, not too far. About an hour drive.
Lost one of my favorite ministers from our church. He went over. He was actually over our ministry of children's ministry. He took over our campus over in Alamance. Gosh, it's been a while. What was his name? I can't think of it. I'm actually, my brain's not functioning on all 4 cylinders today because I'm tired. But yeah, so my church, the Summit, has a number of campuses, and one is in Alamance.
Oh, okay.
And I hated when Jeremy Pollard finally came to me. Yeah, he took over a campus there. I miss him. He was so good in the children's ministry. Love my church. Love my God.
That's definitely good.
God has been good to me. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to head out of here. I got 16 more locations to go to.
Good luck. Wish you well.
All right, you too.
Yes. Bye-bye. Nice meeting you.
You too.
Look up this one. Are you working?
I'm a candidate.
There you go. What you running for?
NC House 40.
I don't
NC House 40.
I don't have a primary.
I run for lieutenant governor.
I didn't see you on the ballot.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
So here's my campaign literature.
Oh, neat.
I'll take one.
Short and
Alrighty. Oh, that's
Okay,
good.
I'm gonna stay.
I'm going to see the old days of the Pogs. Remember the Pogs? They had it around Pogs, and you would flip them.
I don't know.
Yeah, they had that. Well, they had it back in the old days, then they had it back in the 90s again.
Yeah, thank you. So are you an incumbent?
Nope.
Nope, you're a new one.
I
You
just signed up to run for office because there wasn't another Republican.
Well, God bless you.
Was it a hard district? I've done that before. District 58 I ran, and it was...
It's this district, and it's a D
Yeah,
plus
well then you'll be on my...
13.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me of mine. I think mine was D plus 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got 25%
You'll
of
be
the
on my
vote.
ballot then in the fall.
Hey, what's your name?
Colleen Miller. I'm
Colleen, how are you?
campaigning.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye-bye.
You too. Okay, so that was a good conversation. Going to find another spot for this sign. And I put 2 signs up. One right there and one way down there. Let's try to find another spot. Mostly people enter from this area, I believe. Maybe I'll put one. Let's see, they vote here. Okay. Everybody pretty much comes in that way to vote, right?
Yeah, they have to.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
they have to.
I just want to make sure I put the signs up the way they should be.
Yeah, nobody can go here. They have a sign. That's not a voter entrance. You
Okay.
have to go that way.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
So I got 2 signs down there. I'm just trying to make sure they're a good place to put a sign
Mhm.
when you got limited resources.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Advantage of getting here after everybody else has dumped their sign graveyard. All right, I think we're gonna put one right here where people walk, so the entrance. We're gonna put it right here. If I can get it in the grass. There we go. Maybe not. That'll work. Okay. So this is Peter Boykin. I was at the first location, had a nice little conversation with the lady. We talked about a lot of different political things. A lot of people coming out to vote. This area, supposedly, I guess up here, a plus 13 Democrat area. Yeah, I met the guy who's running. He's kind of like I was in District 58. He's in this district. Where's that little hog thing he's handed me? I think he said 40, District 40, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm heading to the next location. The next location for me to go to, I'll tell you here in just a moment. I'm back at my car. This has been the LYNN Community Center, and next I'm going to Northern Regional Center. It's about noon, so I think I can make it. All right, God bless everybody. Peace, and thanks for tuning in.
The Constitution of the United States is the supreme law of the United States of America. It superseded the Articles of Confederation, the nation's first constitution, in 1789. Originally comprising 7 articles, it delineates the national frame and constraints of our government. Without the Constitution, America could not exist.
Without the Constitution, Americans would be fated to live with others throughout human history, at the whims of threatening tyrants and under their dark power of coercion. That's where the enemies of the Constitution mean to drive us today, into the darkness, fighting for our freedoms, prosperity, and the survival of our constitutional republic is our best defense.
action. But I'm telling you, people are looking. They're studying. These unaffiliated people are studying. I still might have a shot. They're looking for a candidate who agrees with them on some of these issues. You know, like one lady asked me about abortion. She said, "I see where you talk about the exceptions. So you believe that women should have the right on those?" Yes. You know, I told her like that I think that abortion should return back to what it was. It was a medical procedure, and it's not used for. It's not used. It was used rarely, and it was not used as a birth control, or people not taking responsibility for their actions. I was like, with that saying, it should be used for the cases of rape or incest with the decision of their doctors, or the potential death of the mother, or for the potential of the health of the baby if it's a possibility the baby would come out, unhealthy, or to that point. It should be something that they could discuss with their doctors and make that determination, get the proper information to make the proper decision.
Yeah.
But that is,
All right.
that's how it should be.
So how many places